And the last game of the weekend at the London Stadium, West Ham 2, Aston Villa 1. And a pretty frustrating night for Aston Villa. They're going to miss a penalty in this one and a late VAR call. Bit of a tight one is going to go against them. West Ham move up to 5th place in the table. There are the teams. So Villa lining up. It's just the absence of Ross Barkley, Martinez in goal, Cash, Cons and Mings target. That sofa score shape isn't entirely right. They did start with Hourihane in Barkley's position as a number 10, but that was sort of swapped around sort of 10 minutes into the game. So I guess in the end it's accurate there. Hourihane, Louise, McGinn probably a little bit further forward than the other two, but a tweak in game by Dean Smith there. Trezeguet right, Watkins central, Grealish left, both with licence to come inside. Narrow for West Ham, Fabianski in goal, Cresswell, Ogbonna, Balbuena, Masuaku and Kufal are the wing-backs, Souček and Rice the double pivot, then Fornals narrow left, Bowen narrow right, and Antonio is the number 9. And straight into this one, well, even before that, Souček forces a chance corner. I think it's about 1 minute 40 seconds. Villa absolutely caught cold here. There's not even, if you look at the distribution of players, it's kind of zonal on the edge of the 6-yard box and a couple of runners tracked. One of them was not Ogbonna, who then manages to isolate himself against Matt Targett, who's not a centre-back. It's probably a little bit shorter. Ogbonna gets up, powers in the header, and caught cold there. Early goal. West Ham take the lead within 2 minutes. As I said about the team shape, then what we get, the next pattern, Hourihane, I think, did start in the number 10 position. I can check their heat map. And then we get that sort of switch around. The other thing we get is a very clear idea that West Ham are not going to mess about with the ball at the back. They're going to try and push up. They're going to squeeze back to front. And then they're going to try and exploit Aston Villa, who want to play the ball through the thirds and out from the back. Villa do cotton on to this. And then just a few times they go back to front nice and quickly, play the channel. So there's an interesting tactical shift going on, and it is indeed on a quick turnover that Villa managed to get the goal, and that was what West Ham were not really set up to stop. They're trying to press and nick the ball high up. However, on the turnover, it goes to Grealish from Cash. He drives into the number 10 position and hits the shot right-footed. Before anyone complains that I'm saying it's a lucky goal, it's not a lucky goal in the slightest. Listen carefully to what I'm about to say. He gets a little bit of luck on the deflection off Ogbonna. If you watch it from behind and you watch where Fabianski's dive takes him, the ball just kinks up and goes into the side net and gets a little arc that doesn't help Fabianski in the goal. So, listen carefully again to what I'm saying. A little bit of luck on the finish. The drive and the dribble and the decisiveness of the shot, brilliant as ever, though, from Grealish. 1-1 into the second half. And David Moyes is not happy with the direction of travel. And he pulls off a bit of a super sub, really, here, because he brings in Ben Rama and he brings in Haller. He takes off Masuaku and Antonio and goes to a 4-2-3-1. So completely changes his system sort of by way of matching up. You get Ben Rama then left inverted winger and Bowen right with Fornals moving into the middle and Cresswell moving back from Cresswell moving out to full back and Kufal moving back to full back. So he makes this change and I bet he couldn't believe it, Moyes, when within about 35 seconds, I think it was, Ben Rama, who obviously Dean Smith knows only too well, and Ollie Watkins knows only too well from Brentford, gets into the box, and he's so good, isn't he? Similar to Grealish in that he can be dribbling the ball, and whilst the defender is worried about the dribbling action, where's he going to go? You back off, and he can cross the ball with no backlift. That's what he does. Let's have a look at it. In it goes to Jarrod Bowen. What happens indeed is they're worried. Mings there, you can't see Haller. He's just behind Bowen. They're worried about Haller, who's the central striker. But Bowen has actually, in the first instance, played the ball to Benrahma. Bowen then makes the diagonal run. And it's the run that allows him to get across the front and then generate the power to flick the header back into the corner. It's a really nice goal. But Villa will be so disappointed. Both halves, they get caught off guard early on. And really, although West Ham are very organised and set up very nicely, I think that's the only 2 shots on target, and they're going to score from both of them. So very disappointing from a Villa perspective. If you're David Moyes, big tick in the box there for that substitution, change of shape. And look, you see Benrahma there, number 9, just seeing where his cross is going to go. He's going to get an assist basically with his first touch. Brilliant stuff from Saeed. Not quite the same for Trezeguet because, look away now if you're a Villa fan because it's a very frustrating story for the rest of the game. West Ham are sitting in and really it's attack against defence. West Ham are going to hold out, but Villa really should score 2 or 3 goals in this time. This is one of them. Watkins have been played in. Do you know, I thought Grealish had overhit the pass, but he arcs it back round brilliantly. Watkins squares it up. You can see Trezeguet, middle of the goal. He's just got to score, hasn't he? He's just got to position himself there. Soft feet, stroke that one in, take the pace off it into the other corner. I don't know what goes wrong, whether he gets his feet in the wrong place or he's trying to be too clever and let Fabianski dive past it and lift. Fabianski reads it, but he shouldn't have a chance there. Should be able to just direct that into the huge gap. And it's basically an open goal, isn't it? And again, I don't know whether it's technique or he outthinks himself, but big miss there by Trezeguet. Even bigger miss coming up, though, is going to be a free shot from 12 yards. There is Declan Rice. He's pulling on Trezeguet's shirt. You can see Trezeguet's going to go down. Just look at Douglas Luiz nearest us. He's just thrown a grenade in there, hasn't he? Little flick header on the run into the gap. And Trezeguet, who gets a gash in his face and is pouring with blood after that, wins the penalty. There's a long hold and Ollie Watkins misses from the spot. Look, Fabianski's done. He's given up on his dive. He's looking back up to the top right-hand corner as Watkins is looking. Watkins just puts too much on it and hits the crossbar. And, games are won and lost in penalty boxes, aren't they, in the main? And 2 big chances for Villa there, neither of them taken. So, for that part of the review, we have to be very balanced about this and say that before this decision that's going to be very tight or go against Villa, use whatever language you're comfortable with, they really should have equalised before that and drawn West Ham out a little bit. They don't. In deference to West Ham can only play the game state that's put in front of them, and Villa don't score. So they do sit back in there, and you've got the back 4 now screened narrow. You've got Bowen and Benrahma coming back. Moyes actually getting some defensive work out of Benrahma and Bowen. Us Championship fans, maybe less so with Bowen, but with Benrahma, he didn't do a lot of defending for Brentford, did he? That was not his modus operandi. But a 4-5-1 without the ball and Haller a bit isolated. But as I say, you can only play the game state you're in. And here comes the VAR. That is Ollie Watkins. He's going to stroke the ball in there from a mat target cross. The ball goes in. Look, there's several things we've got to talk about on this VAR. There is stuff that I think is wrong with this, but I want to frame the debate properly because I know the comments we'll get. And yes, I do have issues with this, but let's frame it the correct way. So I don't need to see clear and obvious because they're checking for an offside. They have to check every goal. So when people say, oh, that wasn't clear and obvious, yes, that's an issue if it doesn't result in a goal. But remember, a goal, they just have to check all of them. So clear and obvious isn't a thing here. Maybe they should be checking for something that isn't the offside, but they weren't. So let's forget the clear and obvious aspect that I know always gets argued. Also, because we had this on the Leeds and Bamford one, I don't think it's helpful to A, question the operative, and B, question, are the lines straight? Who decides the lines? Shirt. Look, the rule, the law, the application is just a little bit sad and a little bit soulless, isn't it? That's the issue I have with it. We'll talk about the fact it could have been a penalty in just a second. So, my take on that, and you can see, Kufal, the right back, his armpit, and I can't believe I'm saying this is how ridiculous it is, his armpit is just slightly behind Ollie Watkins' armpit. By the way, if Kufal was a attacker, he wouldn't be relevant in this picture because he wouldn't be interfering with play. It's a complete mess, this offside law, isn't it? So when that's an attacker, he's not part of the picture, he's not interfering. Whereas when that's a defender, they're judging it off him and not off Ogbonna. We saw what the operative was doing. He was looking at Ogbonna's toe, Watkins' armpit, Watkins' knee, Ogbonna. It's very, very, as I say, soulless. In this instant, offside is a black and white rule. It says if you're ahead, you need two players between the attacking player and the goal. And if you're ahead of one of those players, then it's offside. It is black and white. There's almost a case now that they need to make offside subjective, like the red card rule or the handball law. In handball, the subjectivity comes around, was it deliberate or is the body in an unnatural position? And the subjectivity actually allows for some common sense. Whether you think it's applied properly, that's up to you. With the red card laws, the subjectivity comes in. Was it careless, reckless, excessive force? Did it endanger the opponent? It's almost like they need to add in a line to this law that says the attacking player is in an offside position and has gained an advantage from being so. It's almost like they need to throw that line in there. So in an instance like this, we look at it, the operative takes ages and ages to say, look, one armpit against another armpit, 2 inches, is in an offside position, but has not been deemed to gain an advantage, for goodness sake, because he's going to stick the ball in with his right foot that's not offside. So I don't know if they almost need to... look, people complain about the black and white rules. They complain about the subjective rules. I think there's more wriggle room with a subjective law. This is a black and white law, and we've said 100 times on this, by the wording of the law and the technology, that is offside. It's maddening and it's soulless, and the whole point is to gain an advantage. Watkins clearly doesn't gain an advantage by his armpit being offside. And then we can talk about the other issue, which Gary Neville brought up very astutely. So, look, my take on it is, can we please not have accusations of corruption? The lines are bent, the lines drawn in the wrong place, the clear and obvious because they have to check every goal. Let's talk about what we would say, because I think that debate's all been had. I agree with you on 99% of it. I just think what we need to frame now is, I think the law needs to be changed. Gary Neville said there's 2 laws need to be changed, the offside one, or tweaked, and the handball one, to now work with VAR. I totally agree. So what I'd love in the comments is your suggestions of how we change it. My suggestion is, and this changes every week, by the way, so please feel free to add yours rather than just angrily tearing at mine. My suggestion is offside and has gained a noticeable advantage by being so. or something like that. I think it now needs to be, and we've had tweaks to the handball law. If you wind back a goal, if you've scored straight after a handball, it's handball now. Surely we can throw something in there into the laws, into the wordings that says and has gained noticeable advantage. Because I think even a West Ham fan would admit, they would say it's offside by the book. Has he gained an advantage from that? Probably not. And here's the big issue, and Gary Neville was totally right about this on Sky. I've just rewatched his analysis. They've missed the whole bigger thing that if Declan Rice's pull on Trezeguet earlier in the game is a penalty, then this is actually a penalty. And Ogbonna has got his arms round Watkins, and they make a very good point that Watkins is trying to pull himself away using the leverage of his upper body. So he's being fouled, and he's then, in trying to stay on his feet, he's then caused himself to be offside. He's essentially punished himself by trying to not go down and play. I mean, look, we've seen a million times a player essentially punish themselves by being honest, and we've seen a million times a player go down and be criticised for it. So it's all terribly confused. So really, it probably should have... I do agree with Dean Smith. It probably should have been a penalty or should have been a goal. Do I have a problem with VAR itself in this situation? No. It's the law, which means they have to apply it this way. Do I have a problem with the law? Yes, absolutely I do. Actually, I'll take that back. Do I have a problem with VAR in this application? Yeah, I suppose I do because of but it's the human error rather than the VAR, that they're looking so hard at an offside that they can't see what's right in front of them, which is an infraction, an infringement, a penalty. So do I have a problem with VAR per se? It needs tweaking. Do I have a problem with the law? Yes. Has the referee at Stockley Park made a mistake in missing the penalty? Yes. So, in short, I think the laws need rewriting with that offside, and they need to add in the "and has gained a significant advantage by being so" line to it. And they can turn around every time on these decisions and say he was negligibly offside, but we don't believe he gained an advantage by being so. And that was the whole point of the law. There you go. But it could well have been a penalty. So, long and short of it is, if you're a West Ham fan, and I'm sure any self-aware West Ham fan watching this will agree with me, good win. But on another day, it could have been way less than 3 points, either 1 or 0. But, I'll say it again, West Ham played the game state that was in front of them. They were given early goals in either half and sat back, and Villa didn't take a big chance from Trezeguet, didn't score a penalty kick, a free shot from 12 yards, and then, West Ham probably then got away with one in the last minute on the offside call and the penalty call there. So, and it's almost like the referee just shuts up at that point and leaves it over to VAR, and they don't even think about the penalty call. So look, there you go. That's my take on all of that. There are the stats, and as you can imagine, Villa will feel that given the game state there, 66% possession, 16 shots to 6, 6 to 2 on target, 7 corners to 3, 3 big chances to 1. Every Villa fan will be frustrated that that they haven't got anything. B, think they should have got anything. But what I would add, C, they should be, and Dean Smith said this, we've come away to West Ham and should have won. There's plenty of signs of sustainability in this performance for a finish somewhere between, 7th and 13th or something like that, which is an improvement, and Villa are trending in the right direction. Maybe you just have to take this as a one-off. Look at the tables. There are West Ham in 5th, 3 straight wins. Good luck to them. They're very, very well organised. I like Souček and Rice in the double pivot. Very solid. Moyes is a clever guy. He knows what he's doing after all of these games managing. You don't get the Man United job by being a mug, do you? Oh, don't answer that one. But I think we'd all agree on another day, they wouldn't have got 3 points today, and they'll be very happy to do so. Villa in 10th, 4 defeats in 5. That's not good, but some mitigating factors in those games that we can discuss as we go. Right, get your thoughts in. Again, let's not moan. Let's say how we would fix the issue with VAR and offside. And yes, you can factor in the fact it should have probably been a penalty as well into the bargain. Get your comments in on all of that. It was West Ham 2, a very frustrated Aston Villa 1. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button to see more videos from this channel. Hit the subscribe button and to be notified every time we upload. Ring the bell for those notifications to come through on your device. If you really want to support the channel and me as a content creator, I will be eternally grateful if you head over to the merch store and grab something, or support over on Patreon, patreon.com/Benjamin Bloom. Thank you for your time. Go and watch another video.